my coquettes. Okay, so today we're going to be making a rigatoni Bolognese bake. It's really, really tasty. Okay, so Gary took a photo of me when I was actually doing the onions, so you all saw how I do my onions. Okay, so you need 250 grams of chestnut mushrooms. I've chopped these up, so chop them up any way you like. 1 large onion which has been diced, not finely, but just enough. We've got one of these. These are called Tivisio. This is a concentrated tomato puree paste. You can get this in most of the supermarkets now. It's really good, or you could use a tomato puree, but these were just that little bit better. Okay, and we have got stock as well. We've got beef stock, which I'm going to use just 1 pot of, but that's in the cupboard at the moment. Okay, so you'll need 3 cloves of garlic, some fresh thyme, so around 10 grams. I normally say 10 grams because you get more flavour out of it. Some basil. You need a pack of 5% fat mince, because we're just going to fry it off and it has no fat in it, so you can just fry it off without having to like boil it or whatever you need to do. Some grated mozzarella. Now, while we wasn't doing the video, this is a cup of red wine. I've reduced it down and it's taken obviously out of the alcohol, but if you don't like alcohol then you can leave this out. Okay, so you've got your oil, your salt and your pepper, and this is your rigatoni. Okay, so it comes like that. It's really big, like pasta pieces, and it says around 100 grams per person. I'm shoving it in because we're going to make a bake. There we go. And some passata as well. This is sipped Italian tomatoes. It's really nice. If you happen to pick up the chopped one by mistake, don't worry about it, because what you can do is you can blitz them and then put them through a sieve and it makes exactly the same thing. So there you go. Or if you want more rougher, just put chopped tomatoes in. Okay, so I've got my water on the boil. I'm literally going to put my oven on to 200 degrees. That's what we need. And we're going to start doing it. Okay, so I'm going to put the mozzarella into the fridge so we can get it nicely chilled still. Don't worry about the meat because we will be doing it in a little second. So just open that up. So you probably saw the way I was doing it. So what you do is lift it up, squeeze it, and it comes up like a little roof. And then you chop the top off. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to get our beef as well stock, if I can actually get it out of the cupboard. I'm so dizzy sometimes, I can't actually reach the back of the cupboards. So, here we go. Now, if you're on a diet and you want to use a lower fat, you can use Fry Light. Personally, I prefer using the rapeseed oil. It still is low in fat and it goes a little bit further. So, you can do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in our onions. Now I've put mine in a spray bottle. You can pour it, but you end up pouring like quite a lot in, and you're not watching really what you're doing, and it's quite unhealthy. Whilst this way you can control it. So if you do need a little bit more, you can pop it in. Okay, so we're going to fry all this off. Let's put that in. Okay, so we're going to start frying this off. Now I would season the onions and now, because it holds in a bit more of the seasoning, rather than when you put it in at last, it won't do it. So you kind of season as you go, but this gives you the base of your seasoning. So put that in. Now remember, the thicker the pasta, the longer it takes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting it in. Don't worry if it starts doing, if it is done a little bit earlier, because we can set it aside, that's no problem. So I'm going to open it up. And in we go. There we go. I love it when it's like that. Okay, so we're going to fry this off. We're going to fry all the mushrooms off and everything like that, and the garlic, And I'm going to add the wine. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop while I'm frying off the garlic, and then you can see the the onion, and then you can see what I'm doing next, and it's not taking up so much time. Alright, so I'll see you in a bit. Bye for now. Okay, so they're frying off nicely, so I'm going to put in our garlic now. Our garlic and our mushrooms are going in, and our thyme's going in as well. Beautiful thyme. Put that over there. Now the basil I've got over here. Woo! The basil I've got over here, but it's I don't want to do it yet because I want to leave it till the last minute. So basically, fry off your mushrooms, and then we're going to add in our mince as well. But we just want to bring these down just a tiny bit. But this is what I meant about rapeseed oil. It goes so much further than what you think. And we've put a lot of, quite a lot in. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more. But it doesn't really need any more because it soaks into the onions, which have water in them anyway. So the water disperses, and it disperses with the mushrooms as well. And you end up getting this lovely kind of mix in with it. So it doesn't really, it's like with any oil, if it's water it kind of rises to the top, and that's what it does with this. So okay, so start mixing that in, and now we're going to start putting in our mince. So use your hands whatever way you like. I like to use my hands because then I know exactly what I'm doing with it. But obviously wash your hands afterwards. And as well, it's sitting on the top, so it's not really doing anything for the moment. So I can put a little bit of seasoning in it if I want to as well. So what you want to do is you just want to break it up so it's not in big clumps or anything like that. It's dispersed a little bit. So put that all in. Wash my hands. That's what we need to do after mince. And I'm going to get our basil, bit of pepper, bit of salt. Okay, so you get the biggest scissors ever. Now the thing with basil is it's quite a soft herb. So you don't really, it bruises quite easily. So don't worry if it's like in really big chunks. That's fine. It's better that it's like that than to try and keep cutting at it and making it more bruised. So, but don't put the stalks in. But if you want it a little bit more, you can just help it along a tiny bit. But don't do it too much because it's not, it doesn't like it. Okay, so. Going to also check on that. More rigatoni. It's not quite, it is doing, but it's not overly done. But just give it a little bit of stir because it might stick at the bottom. So I'm going to start frying this off. So I'm going to fry this off, and then I'll come back. I'll come back when it's done, and I'll show you the next step to the sauce. All right, see you in a bit, my coquettes. Okay, so. It's all done, our mince, so I'm popping in our concentrated puree, and I'm also going to pop in our beef stock as well, and the wine. Wine. Love a bit of wine in my meal. I mean, who doesn't really? Apart from my dad. He doesn't eat wine. He doesn't drink wine. But I do like it in my food. I think it makes it nice and tasty. And the good thing about this puree is like the concentrated one, is it actually gives quite a lot of flavour about like making your sauce really watery as well. So it's quite nice. But what we're doing is we're wanting us to mix everything in, make it all yummy, and we're going to put our passata in now as well. So pop it in. There we go. So this is a carton of it. So just pop that in. Thing is, this looks like a lot of sauce now, but once the pasta goes in, it won't be that much sauce, to be honest. That's why we're part cooking the pasta now, because if you put it straight in, it's not gonna cook, and you'll just have like really manky hard pasta, which isn't very nice, to be honest. Okay, so I've turned this down to a low heat, just so that we aren't having it too much on the boil, because otherwise you don't want your mince to start really boiling at this point. But this is such a nice little midweek, I say midweek, it's Monday today, but it's really nice. It depends when your midweek is, I suppose, doesn't it? Monday's my midweek, clearly. Okay, so leave that just to mellow a little bit, melody together. And I'm just going to check our rigatoni. We'll try. It's done. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, which is nice. That's what you want. Oh, I'm burning my chest. Oh, that was a bit. Okay, so mix that in. Want that stock pot to give that lovely flavoury, that lovely beef flavour. Now, not being funny, but this is what it should look like. It shouldn't look like what it does in the jars. This is proper Italian cooking, I'll tell you now. Okay, so I'm going to drain this off. So you drain it off in the colander. I'm going to add our pasta. Just a little bit at a time, just so we can coat it all. Make it nice. I must admit, this is one of my favourite meals, this. And they've started selling it all in the supermarkets and everything like that now. And it is tasty. They are really nice. Don't get me wrong, they're lovely. They're really good. But I still like my own. So I might just take a couple out, if I can get them out without getting the mince. Okay, so mix that up. Okay, so you want a nice big amount of everything mixed. It's going to go in there anyway, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Okay, so take it off the heat. Well, we're going to pop it in there. Hang on a minute, my coquettes. I'm going to stop for a second. We're going to pop it in there, and then we'll come back and show you what to do. Alright, see you in a bit. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle on my mozzarella. Love cheese so much, it's so good. There's just something really homing about it. Okay, now obviously this does feed a lot of people. This is generally my version of pasta, but to be honest, it does last you. It can last you up to 2 to 3 days. So because it's only got the cheese on the top, so as long as it's kept refrigerated, it's all right. So you can have it for lunches, or you can freeze it if you like as well, and it will keep up to 3 months, I think, in the freezer. Okay, so make sure everywhere's got a little bit of cheese, and into the oven it goes. Basically, I just put it in the oven until it's golden on top, or a little bit golden. So there you go, my coquettes. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye for now. Okay, so I've taken it out of the oven. I got a bit impatient and didn't wait for mine to brown because I was hungry. But there is your rigatoni bolognese bake. Well, thank you very much for watching, my coquettes. We really do appreciate it. So please like, please keep sharing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, my coquettes.